There we go. Welcome, everyone. This week, once again, I was planning on doing a webinar and looking at authenticity. It seems like such a simple thing, but really, it can be very scary for a lot of people to actually be who they are, not who the images that we put on about who we are, how we like to be perceived, but who we actually are, our full selves, even in our weaknesses and pain and vulnerability. Admitting that we're scared, living out the callings of our heart, all of that can be extremely terrifying for people. We have these splits that we've created in our mind of who we think we should be and who we actually are. And when there's a difference, it evokes a lot of shame within us. The shame is there when we don't live up to the image of who we believe we're supposed to be a worthy human being, to be worthy of existing. But as we start removing all those layers that we wear, all those images, and start allowing ourselves to be seen, fully seen, which is what we all truly want, to take all the masks off and to just be okay with ourselves as we are, even with all our imperfections and so-called failures, to just allow those too. Not feel any less than because of it. To see that as simply another experience. Because we have these strict ideas of what a person is supposed to be valuable, that we're not never supposed to make mistakes. We're supposed to get it right. We're supposed to act a certain way. We're supposed to be good and loving human beings. But that's not embracing the fullness of the human experience. There's darkness in there too. And we need that darkness in a way to really be able to understand what love is. We contrast the two. And so to be authentic isn't just being ourselves in the good times, in the happy moments, but to allowing ourselves to be with whatever appears, and not feeling like we have to wear a mask to cover it over. This is our free state. This is who we naturally are. When we watch animals in nature, sometimes we joke that we're envious of them. We believe that because we're human, we're bound by these social and cultural norms that we have to follow. But it's not necessarily true. It's not true at all, really. The more we go out there and put ourselves out there and challenge what it is that we're being told as to how we're supposed to be, the more we see we're just being taught an idea of what is the right way to be. But there is no right way to be. Everyone's just being in their own way, and that's what gives so much beauty to the world. And when all those masks start falling away, sometimes we get so lost and feel like, I don't know who I am anymore, or what inspires me, or what my passion is, or purpose in life is. But when those start falling away, all those masks that we wear, we come into contact with who that person really is inside. And all of those ideas and inspirations and the calling of the heart, they become clear. It becomes clear to us. It was there all along. We just couldn't see it because it's masked over by our fear of allowing that part of ourselves to be exposed. If I was to really do those things in my heart, what might happen? I might fail. I might not live up to the standards of those around me. I might be perceived as crazy. People seeing me in my pain might not like me. They might stand away from me. Maybe I'll be left alone. All of these thought patterns come up to try to protect us, to keep us safe, but really they keep us bound, limited, suffering. Because the yearning in our heart is to be truly ourselves, and we're not. There's incongruency happening. Who we are and who we try to be is never the same. Because it's some projected image that doesn't truly exist. When we're authentic, we embrace all parts of our being, and it's a more spontaneous way of being. A spontaneous way of being in terms of our interests and expressions in the moment, because we're open to allowing whatever it is that wants to happen, whatever emotion, whatever experience to happen. We're not subtly trying to control it and manipulate it and figure it out in our mind. That all goes. And we're just left with the experience itself. We can fully be with people too. It's another beautiful part of embracing our authentic being. As when we're ourselves, we're no longer in our minds trying to communicate with someone else, replaying the conversation or fast forwarding to get to our part again, what we're going to say or how we're going to respond to elicit the reaction that we want. We're just there with them, not trying to figure out how to be with them or what to say to them. We just let it come and we trust. We're not trying to get them to see us in any particular way, to impress them, to fix them, to defend ourselves. All of that goes. And it's just us with them, real. And when it's just us with them and we are real, the other person can sense it. They might not even know what they're sensing, but they sense something is different. And it's like an invitation is extended to them, that they're not being judged, that it's safe, they can trust, they can let go of their masks and allow themselves to be vulnerable and real with you too. And it's then when we have the most heartfelt conversations, we feel the most connected to the other. We think that if we have this image of ourselves, this image of perfection that we've created, it's then that we will find happiness, that we'll be connected and loved. But when we look at our experience and the experience that's all around us of others and celebrities, we see that's not the case at all. Trying to live up to coming and approaching people with this idea of perfection ends up being more of a turnoff. It creates a discord in the relationship when people sense that there's a sense of separation. You're viewing yourself as superior in some way. Or there's a mask to cover over parts of yourself. It doesn't feel relaxed. It's kind of funny that we all believe we have to be these perfect human beings to be loved, but what I've come to realize within myself in my own journey is that that can lead to admiration for sure, but it doesn't lead to connection, and it doesn't lead to love. It's when we totally take that deep, deep exhale and not try to figure out any way to be, anything to say, judge our experience or emotions to be any other way than they are. That to me is living authentically. That's when the love flows, even in our hardest times, in our darkest times. We still feel a peace and a joy and a love in our hearts. We feel it because we become one with the experience. We're not separating ourselves in terms of judging it or comparing it or resisting it. We can let it be as it is because that's what's true for us in the moment. So authenticity isn't some big thing that we achieve. It's simply a way of being in the moment. We don't become authentic beings. We just live authentic lives. It's simple, really. Terrifying, totally. The stories of the mind can be intense, which keep us guarded and blocked. Many walls and masks, layers and layers of them. Fear of being found out, fear of our shames and our guilts being exposed, fear of being alone, of being unlovable, not enough, whatever the story may be. But we have to walk through those fears really to see that they're just beliefs in the mind, they're not true. That what we long for more than staying safe within the bounds of our fear is authenticity, of being true to the moment, true to how we are in the moment. We may not even realize this, but it is what we all want. And we see it when we are it. We dissolve into it. And in that, everything in its own way becomes acceptable. We may not like it. We may act in order to change it, take action to change it. But we don't get caught up in this huge resistance or confrontation with others in life, become a victim in some way, or try to become a hero. Because we no longer have to try to be anything. If everything is acceptable, so are we. Such a joy. May you too live from this place of authenticity. A beautiful gift, not only for yourself, but for the world. Thank you.